Yeah. You're watching National Streaming Sports. Over 20 podcasts, 70 shows, and a 3.5-star rating on Roku TV. Check out nessp.info for direct links and deals on the site Bet Us for 125% off your first three deposits in NFL and college odds for upcoming games, Major League Baseball and NBA futures, and boxing wagers. Also, check out Fanatics, sportswear for your favorite teams, and also network merchandise, retro, Northeast Streaming Sports, National Streaming Sports, Big Football, and the Mac and Jack Sports Show t-shirts. Coffee mugs are coming soon. Check it out. It's hump day, folks. Wednesday here on National Professional Streaming Sports Show. I'm your host, Mac. Down below me right here, we got the J Train himself, James Martin, and of course, the great Bo Crouch. And sitting right down underneath us right now, I'm ready to bring him up. Are you ready, guys? Are you ready for him? We're going to bring him in. All right, here's Keith Angel as he comes in every Wednesday.
Getting a little stressful with you guys sitting on top of me.
Right. So with all the
don't pretend like you don't like it.
with all
This one's rough.
Love it. Before we start with the show, before we start, guys, I want to straighten something out that was said on Coast to Coast today. Of course, Pags was bragging because he went 2-0-1 and he's leading right now. And he said last year he won the pool, but I didn't count him because he missed a couple weeks and that he, I didn't count it. Well, that is totally wrong. He missed like 4 or 5 weeks, and Jack Hirsch won the pool by a large margin. Pags was up there in the top 3 with percentages, but it doesn't count. If you don't play, it doesn't count. So I wanted to straighten that out before we started that. And speaking of picking, of course, Bet Us has been in business for 30 years, folks. Right there in the right top corner there is their QR code. It's the best betting site there is. It's safe, unlike some others sites that I'm not going to mention because I don't want to get sued or anything. So anyway, it's safe. It's been around for 30 years, and yeah, you got to do it, guys. You got to get in there and at least get in there, sign up, and look around, and you'll see that it is a great site. So, anyways,
I mean, if you're going to say something wild about one of those other companies, all you have to say is allegedly, right? Pat McAfee showed us that. As long as you say allegedly, you're probably not getting sued.
Right, exactly. But okay, I can't be sued if it's true, right? I mean, it's true, right? I mean, that's it's true. What can I tell you? But anyway, I still didn't mention the name. So the dust has settled, folks, right? On the two, the Eagles Falcons game. I mean, there was a lot of stuff going on. Keith would not even comment on it. I mean, he just left it alone. So maybe he's going to be put on the spot here tonight. I want to get you guys' thoughts. All right. Some people blame Barkley for dropping the pass. The game would have been over. You're right. Some people blame Nick Sirianni, situational manager of the game. He has problems, right? He went for a 2-point conversion, didn't make it. He went on his own side of the ball, fourth and so much, and he didn't make it. So that added up to some Falcons points and some great position. And some people are blaming the defense for being soft. I played safety. I know Bo played in the defensive backfield. Prevent defense prevents you from winning the game. And when you got a mobile quarterback, it makes no sense not to pressure the guy. So, I mean, that was part of the reason why they lost too. You can say all that stuff. I'm going to let you guys have at it in a second. But we're forgetting the Falcons won the game. And they deserved to win the game. Their defense played great. Kirk Cousins at the end, even though there was no pressure on him, he still cut him up. Still brought him on the field, still scored a touchdown. So, I mean, you got to give the Falcons some credit too. I mean, the Falcons won the game, and as Bill Parcells says, 3 plays in a game will decide whether you win or lose the game, and it happened. So, Keith, since you didn't want to comment in Facebook, I want to get your thoughts here.
I didn't see it on Facebook. I would have commented. So, all those things are accurate, and to me, only one of those things would have absolutely ended the game, and that's Barkley catching the ball. The other things, we don't know what would happen after those events, and you can read subjectively into pretty much anything. But I know for a fact if Barkley catches the ball, the game's over. I've lived it. If Wes Welker caught the ball, we would have lost to the Giants in the second Super Bowl. But if's a big word, and it didn't happen, and that's the biggest play of the game. He's going to catch the ball. He's making money to catch that ball. I'm sorry, game's over. But all those other things are true as well, and I will give the Falcons credit. They won the game. Kirk Cousins gets a little bit of the monkey off his back. Can't win primetime games. Can't win this. Can't win that. Not the biggest fan in the world, but hey, he shut a few people up Monday night. So congratulations to them. And Eagles fans, I don't know what Pags had to say about it, but if
not a lot.
He catches the ball, game's over. End of story. Biggest play in the game.
Definitely. The reason why I bring up the situational stuff is because in the history of the Eagles under Sirianni, they're 2-9 when it comes to under 2 minutes, and when he gets into these things. I mean, the Eagles don't do so well, Bo. Right? I mean, all you got to do is look back and see. It's Sirianni, the man for the job when it comes to being the game head coach.
Yeah, I mean, sure, Saquon catches that ball, it's over. There's a lot that went wrong for that play to matter, right? So, although true, right, any one play can be the play, I guess. But playing soft defense makes no sense to me. I hate prevent anyway. I hated it as a player. I hate it as a fan. I hate that defense. Use the defense that's winning you the game. If you get beat over the top, so be it. But if you are giving above average quarterbacks rhythm by just giving them cupcake throws, football is a rhythm sport. And if you allow them to be in one, I mean, you're probably going to lose that game. Now, if they kick that field goal earlier in the day, that changes the complexion of this game too. Now, if he makes it on 4th down, he looks like a hero. So that's one of those play calls that I don't really hate either way, right? That's one of those, if you make it, everybody says you're a genius. If you miss it, they say you're an idiot. So, I mean, if it works, awesome. What do you do? But it's how soft the defense became, especially against a guy that's coming off a major injury, wasn't mobile before it, right? Why you're not sending the house to just disrupt that guy is beyond me. And to lose a game in that fashion against Mr. Primetime, Kirk Cousins, man, that looks extra bad.
Yeah. And James, I was watching this podcast before I came on, and they're like, Eagle fans, relax, and don't go crazy. Listen, I agree with that. And Dallas came back to earth. I would rather get beat the way that the Eagles got beat by the way Dallas got beat. Maybe so. Maybe true. And then he said, well, the Eagles did do well last year. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, but didn't they get beat down 32-9 by Tampa too? I mean, Tampa destroyed them also. So, let's not throw rocks in glass houses, James. And I know you're kind of tired there, and I hope you don't fall out of your chair. So let me get your thoughts, overall view of the game. What do you think, James? I mean, is it Sirianni's fault? I've seen receivers drop balls all the time when they're open, running with the ball before they catch it. It's not rare. Let's put it that way.
This game is reminiscent to me of the opening game of LSU USC. LSU is at the end, eerily similar time, and they're down at 3rd down, and all they have to do is run the ball because the other team does not have any timeouts. You pass a play to Saquon Barkley, taking a chance of him dropping it. He drops it. That stops the clock. You give life to a team. If you let a team hang around, you deserve to lose. And I'm not taking anything away from Atlanta. Atlanta played excellent defense. They held the Eagles 21 points, and they did just enough to win the game. And like you said, Kirk Cousins played a really good game, and the Eagles didn't stop their run game. Bijan had 97, 5.9 a clip, and Algiers, 152 total yards. It's still nothing to sneeze at totally. So that kept them in the game, I think. And I blame the coach. I blame Brian Kelly for LSU for not running the ball. I knew it. I thought they were going to run the ball. Same thing here. And you try to get cute. And here you go. You give them opportunity. You got to kick a field goal. And it's just terrible, man. It's just not good coaching. I think I blame the coach. I don't blame the players. Because, that can happen any day, but that's just a bad call. I don't agree with that call.
Well, he was open.
Playing to win the game, though. That game the game's over if that gets the first time.
And he was open, right, Keith? Keith, he was open. Yeah.
He'll be playing quarterback.
No, that's why they hand him the ball.
Hand the ball.
Listen,
you got
Saquon Barkley is a weapon. He's one he's one of the better running back receivers in the league. He dropped the ball. It happens. What are you going to do? Anyway. So let's get to our picking of the Pats and the Jets. Last time I checked, and Keith would probably know better than me right now, the Jets are favored by 3.5. Is that correct? Last time I saw it, I think it's 3.5 points.
Yeah,
and that's crazy to me right there. I don't know why they're not favored by more than that. Listen,
no, I'm looking at it now. It's -6.
Did it go to 6?
Yeah.
Now it makes a little more sense to me. But even with 6 points. Even at 6 points, I'm surprised it's that low. I figured maybe 10. I know it's a rivalry game. I know the Patriots have a good defense. I know they got a good running game. But you have to give the edge to Rodgers and the wide receiver crew there. I think that's where they win the game. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots win it. I really wouldn't. If they get to the Jets, if they get to Rodgers and their linebackers are hurt, and there's a lot of injuries over there. They missed practice today. I read that. A couple of linebackers. I'm glad you got what's his name, Zimenez. I'm glad you took him off our hands because he was always hurt with the Giants too. So you can have him now. That's great. But I'll go to you here first, Keith. I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots upset them, but I think it's safe to say that the Jets have a little bit of an edge with their passing game.
Well, they definitely have an edge with the passing game and with the offense in general. The Patriots, while they were in position to win this game last week, again showed why they're going to have trouble winning games. They were 6 for 16 on third downs, 4 for 16 if you take out the penalties they got first downs on, which is horrendous. The defense played well, but gave up a lot of passing yards. And Bentley's out now for the year. So this team's not playing as well as I thought they would play defensively. The offense has probably been a little bit better as far as not making mistakes, and they've moved the chains a little bit. They were in position to win this game Sunday, and this is what bad teams do. They don't win these games that are winnable. And they've got a veteran quarterback who's probably going to chew them up a little bit, I would say, at home. But the Patriots being a home team, and they're well coached right now. I think they've shown that they're a disciplined team through 2 games. Again, this is not a big sample size. The team has got to play too perfect a football to be able to win games. I think they could cover this spread, but I think they're going to have trouble winning this game, even though too many weapons. Look at
James.
You got the oldest guy and the youngest guy at the same team to score touchdowns.
That's the truth. James keeps moving around because he's tired. He wants to do something when he's not talking. He's over here. He's over there.
I liked it over there.
James.
No, I mean,
So
we
James,
appreciate
before
that you decided to let us go ahead and win that game this Sunday.
You're welcome. I meant to say you're
block
welcome.
kick, block kick away, Keith, a block kick away. James, so you don't move. You wait 1 second. Let me ask you. The Patriots have their number. All right, the Patriots. I think they've won like 10 out of the last 12 or something ridiculous like that. I know they've got their number. Jared Mayo, coach with Belichick, defensive linebacker with Belichick. Do they just have the keys to the car when it comes to the Jets?
I mean, I would say typically, but I mean, it's really questionable. I don't know what to really expect coming from this team. I mean, we projected them to be like horrific, this year, but I mean, they actually look pretty good defensively. So I think that's a plus for them, and arguably they might be able to win this game because Rodgers doesn't have the mobility that he once had, and he's still, he's coming off of an Achilles injury, so he's looked okay. I don't know what he's going to look like against this defense, and so he's probably going to really, like we saw in the last game, depend on those running backs. He's got two good running backs that might do something, but I don't know. I think the offensive side of the running game, Stevenson, is that the kid's name?
Stevenson.
Yeah, he looks really good.
Gibson's
I'm not really sold on the defense right now for the Jets. So they can't really stop the run game. So I think this will be closer than people think. It might be closer than that -6.
Because the Seahawks got about 40 yards rushing the other day, and Geno looked like the old Aaron Rodgers.
But isn't it true that the Seattle receivers, to me, are better than the Jets receivers? The Jets really got Lazard's okay, he's good, and of course you got Wilson over there. But you guys got DK Metcalf, you got Lockhart. I know he's getting a little old in the tooth, but he still can play. And then you got the rookie, the second-year guy. I forgot his name.
Jackson.
But you got a nice stable.
Yes,
they do.
Yeah, you could argue that it's probably one of the top trios in the league, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem with the Seahawks is they yet again have a hard time stopping anything in the middle on defense, and that offensive line. I've seen people get hung up more at like subway turnstiles than what our offensive line has been doing. So I'll be surprised if Geno doesn't get hurt if they can't figure out how to plug this offensive line up a little bit. But when it comes to this matchup, the Jets get carved up the middle too. I was really surprised to see that. And this is a game that I absolutely could see a situation where the Pats cover. I don't think they win. I just don't think they have the stables, the horses in the stable for that. But I that defense is no joke. The Patriots defense looks nice. And they haven't made mistakes on offense, which is, impressive. So on the other side of that, you have Rodgers that still doesn't seem to be in rhythm with his guys. I mean, Garrett Wilson is still dropping balls because he's not used to the fact that that Rodgers puts zero touch on anything. It's just as hard as you can throw it. So, he had quite a few of them bounce straight off his hands. Week 1, he had a couple that, weren't connections this last week. So this could be a close game. But I do think the Jets get the win.
Another big game.
You all are taking the Pats.
Speaking,
Go ahead, Keith.
Another big day for Hunter Henry. I was going to say, just like he had a great first half. You said he can't stop the ball over the middle, but Henry, they ate that up in the first half. In the second half, they took it right away from him. Yep. Henry had 1 catch in the second half. Again, they got to exploit that against the Jets better than they did in the second half of that Seattle game.
Yep.
Yes, he did switch seats there, West Coast. When welcome to the show. Yes, James did switch seats with Keith. So watch out for the paper airplanes he'll be throwing at the screen here. So you all are taking the Patriots with the points. I'm going to go with the Jets. I'm 2-0 Thursday night. I think I'm going to start betting Thursday night, and that's it. I'm done. I'm done picking on the weekends. Me and Keith are just going to go drinking. Sundays, and we're not going to put our picks in, and we'll get a good percentage like Pags gets at the end of the year. Yes. So, anyways, let's get to some big news out of Carolina. They're putting in the old Red Rifle himself. He's a lot older than he was when he played with Cincinnati, and his last game with the Panthers, he passed for over 300 yards. I think it was 20 years ago. So he's back in right now. And Bryce Young is, I guess he's kicked to the curb. I said Bryce Young. I remind everybody every time I have a show that I predicted Bryce Young was going to be a bust. There's a lot of reasons for it.
Quarterback will be a bust. You're going to be right eventually. By the way, just saying. You say
yes,
that about
yes.
Rookie quarterback.
Not every quarterback. I didn't say that about CJ Stroud. Listen. When they drafted Daniel Jones, you know where my mind went to be honest with you? Jeff Rutledge, both from Duke and both suck. So anyway, I mean, that's where my mind went to when they drafted Daniel Jones. Anyways, so He pretty much done for his career with Carolina, I would think. I blame, of course, the owner, the GM to a point, because he has no backbone, because he's going to get fired if he stands up to the owner. I don't know. They might have ruined his career. They might have. So, okay, Keith, you go first. I mean, I feel sad for the guy. I don't want to see anybody fail, honestly. But it happens more than it doesn't.
They put this kid in a position to fail from the very beginning. A very poor offensive, a bad football team to begin with, right? I mean, you see what the Patriots did this year. Even though Drake, by the end of the training camp, Drake May was the best quarterback in camp by the end. But behind that horrible offensive line, they knew they would be putting in a position to fail. So you sit them. I mean, they're not going to be that good whether he plays or he doesn't. And the Carolina was never going to be that good whether Bryce Young played or he didn't. And they threw him in there. They let him get the crap beat out of him and lose his confidence and get hurt. And now when they move on from him, they're going to be lucky probably to get a third-round draft pick for him or something. I mean, and some team might benefit from this if they can rehabilitate his confidence, because it's hard to come back from this type of shell shock after just a year and a half in the league. I blame the organization for the treatment of Bryce Young, because I do think he could be a decent NFL quarterback. I don't know if he will be now, because it's hard to come back from that type of beatdown.
I wish Sonia was here for this.
Take back for Sonia. I like her guy, but her team not so much.
So let me go to the other side of the coin. There is a lot of quarterbacks that have gone to bad situations, and in their second year, they've improved. Andrew Luck, first year 2-12, got the snot beat out of him, right? And then the second year, he still got the snot beat out of him, but he hung in there, and the Colts started winning games. There's a lot of I should say a lot. There are a few that can withstand that. I don't think Bryce Young has the build. I don't think that Bryce Young is enough of a leader. I mean, I watch different things. I don't just watch what happens there. Sometimes he rolls out and he just throws it. I don't know where the hell he's throwing it. I mean, listen, you can't just blame Carolina's offense without also blaming Bryce Young. I'm sorry, Bo. I mean, it happened. This is where it's going to be, and I mean, you can feel bad for the kid. You can make
I apologize to Bo. I didn't say anything yet.
But because I think Bo likes Bryce. That's why I think him and Bryce go way back.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, like I don't have a horse in the race there, but I don't love him or hate him. I didn't like him as the number one pick. I actually would have taken CJ. Now, I don't know that CJ would have performed as well as he has if he was in that Panthers organization. I mean, one thing to keep in mind, as much as you want to fault Bryce for chucking the ball and sometimes being dangerous with it, you can only end up on the grass so many times before you're like, let me just get this thing out of my hand. But, at the same time, how good did you think he was going to be over the course of the last 3 years? There's 6 head coaches in. I mean, like, how good do you think he's going to be? There's probably going to be someone else next year. I mean, now, if I was going to get a coaching job, that's where I want to be. I get to coach half a year and then live the rest of the time getting paid for stuff I don't have to do on a yacht in the Caribbean. So, like, it sounds pretty awesome. Now, his bad decisions are on him, but at the end of the day, that organization is such a dumpster fire that I don't know that there's any quarterback that's really going to thrive there.
I would agree.
Just a quick comment before you go to James about your comparison, and you threw out Andrew Luck. I mean, he doesn't have any T.Y. Hiltons or Reggie Waynes to throw the ball to either.
Exactly.
Young, right? And there was a better cast of characters around.
Well, we'll never know because he never hit him with the ball when he threw the ball, so we don't know if Carolina has good receivers.
Well, maybe because they don't get open and they drop the ball when he does throw it to them. So
I'm not sure.
Name one of their receivers. I can't name one of their receivers right now without looking. I really can't.
I can't even name the running backs, Keith. You know what I'm saying? That would be if Sonia was here, she could.
It's Deontay Johnson and Xavier Legette.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. I've closed. Case closed. Go ahead. I'm done.
That being said, the last time Dalton threw for 300 yards with the Panthers was against my Seahawks, so I do kind of remember it because Bryce Young got hurt the week before, and the Seahawks do struggle against backup quarterbacks. And as soon as I saw that he was getting the start, I was like, crap, here we
go. James, what's your view?
Well, we talked about this last night on Prim and Proper Sports with Sonia and Kevin, co-host. I really think he just wasn't put in, like, I'm going to piggyback off what Keith said and Bo, he just wasn't put in this position to succeed. I mean, this organization, don't get me wrong, Carolina's had success. They went to the Super Bowl with Cam Newton in 2015. They went to the Super Bowl with Jake Delhomme going all the way back against the Patriots. You know, so they've had success. So I don't know whether or not what's happened, how you fall off the wagon that far. I mean, somebody's off the wagon with the bottle, maybe. I don't know. You know, and so there's a lot going on here, and you really put yourself in a bad way and position by giving away all of your assets to get this guy. And you look at Houston's situation; they didn't do that. They didn't have to do that. Their GM made every avenue ready for him. He got a great coach. It just all worked out. That it's not going to always happen. This is clearly the opposite end of the spectrum for Carolina. It didn't work out at all. There's no offensive line. You don't have any assets to get any offensive linemen. There's no wide receivers. You didn't have any. You got Chuba Hubbard as your running back. It just wasn't a good. And you have a guy that you drafted, put all your marbles in, a 5'10" guy with an arm that's not that strong. And it was very accurate in college. He looked great at Alabama, but he had everything at his helm. He had a great coach, great offensive line, and great weapons. And you take him away from that, who knew he wouldn't be that good? So it's just not a good situation.
Well, to answer one of your parts there is those two Super Bowls came before this owner got there. So Tepper is a different animal. I have not heard of a single other owner that has thrown drinks at an opposing fan from his booth. So.
James's comment about the owner and the quit drinking, I thought was very appropriate.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he wasn't drinking because he threw it.
And he
I
didn't
had no idea. I was just making it.
And he didn't pay for that drink either.
That's right.
I know he's losing money now. And, the GM right before he said that, that Dalton's going to be there. Listen, the GM said they had all faith in the world in Bryce Young. So the owner said, no, we don't. We're not selling tickets. And the whole question here that I asked Jack, what does it really matter whether Dalton starts or not, or whether he plays the rest of the year or not? They're not going to do anything. Maybe they win 2 more games. Maybe not. I mean, what I don't understand the reasoning behind the whole thing. Should Mike Vrabel be all over the internet right now and on every show just laughing? Just have him laugh. I mean, after he got fired, just have him laugh. Just don't even say nothing. Just point and laugh, and I think that would go viral. I really do. It's crazy. I don't know.
The Red Rifle should change his name to the Rusty Musket.
Well,
He's pretty old, man.
yes, he is.
I saw him. He was shooting the muskets with the Patriot guys when they scored a touchdown. A couple weeks.
Yes,
Really?
yes. Yeah, it was him. I saw him. I saw him there. Here we go. Fields gets the next start.
I'm going to steal that one. I like that line a lot, actually.
What you say?
I like that musket line a lot. I'm going to steal that, I think.
Yeah,
Sure, go ahead, man.
Keith's been known for stealing things. He's being sued for stealing things. So I won't get into that.
This is very true. I stole his college football playoff format that only 9 million other people had.
Right. So, Keith's known for that. His hero, he lets air out of balls. I mean, there's a whole thing with Keith that we don't even get into.
It's out now. I was a guy.
There's a dark side to Keith Fangle, just for so you all would know that.
I'm a lawyer. Keith Rodriguez.
That's right. That's why you married a lawyer. That's exactly right. Anyway, listen, Justin Fields gets to start again. Russell Wilson, I think, is all done as the Steelers starting quarterback unless Fields absolutely just doesn't do anything. I mean, if the Steelers are in every game and Fields is progressively getting maybe a little better or just staying the same, doesn't make mistakes, I don't see Russell Wilson getting back in the game. Do you, James?
No. But he would, I mean, let's just say that I think Russell Wilson is going to get back in the game because I don't trust Justin Fields. So I think he's going to, but they're just waiting on his calf to get better. As long as they're winning right now, they're not going to rush Russell Wilson. They're going to let that calf get better, and they're going to put him in the game when it's time. I think Mr. Pat the ball, fumble the ball, it's going to rear its ugly head at some point.
It's possible, but Keith, I mean, Russell, I mean, you have a guy in Justin Fields who can be the other running back, right? I mean, the running game of the Steelers right now with him and their running back Harris, I mean, that's a two-headed monster kind of, and Fields is not making mistakes. I mean, there was a couple passes that he threw that were dropped or that were complete, some two really good passes too by Pickens. One of them I know dropped one of them that could have been a score. He was wide open. I mean, I don't know. I don't know who's better or who's worse, and does it even matter? I'm not sure.
Oh, I don't think Russell Wilson is appreciably better than Fields or vice versa at this point. Fields, as you said, isn't regularly. He's fumbled a couple balls running the football, hasn't turned the ball over in 2 games throwing the football, and he's completed around 70% of his passes, I think. As long as his team wins, Russell Wilson won't see the field. That's, again, I don't think they're going 17-0, so he'll get a chance probably somewhere when they have a little bit of a fade. But I personally, Fields can make things happen when there's nothing else there. Wilson is at the point in his career he's not going to make things happen, and he's only going to be able to play under the best of conditions, perfect conditions. And this team's going to need to make draw plays up in the dirt a little bit, I think, to be able to win football games like they have the first 2 weeks. And look at neither one of them is going to take this team to the Super Bowl, maybe not even the playoffs. So it really doesn't matter. Today, I give the kid the reps and let him play. May find out if I got a quarterback. I know what I have in Wilson.
Right.
He's back half of his career. I know what I have. Again, not a Super Bowl contender. So you're not a quarterback away from contending. Let the kid play.
Let me say one thing before you go to Bo. This is going to be a make or break game. I mean, to see who's really better. I mean, they're playing the Chargers coming up, and I like both. I like coaching in both. I like both. I think both styles are similar. I mean, they're going to smash mouth football. It's not going to be a high scoring game. I see the spread is like -1.5 for Pittsburgh. So I like this game here.
Interesting matchup for sure. I agree.
Yeah,
very.
Bo, I mean, they really haven't played. I mean, the Falcons didn't play well the first time. They only scored 18 points. They played Denver, who's not, the best team in the AFC, and they only scored 13 points. What happens when they go up with a team with a really good offense?
They lose, is what they do. If you put their 2 games together, he almost has a good stat. Like he has 270 yards and 1 touchdown through 2 games. Like, how excited can you be? And is the bar so low that Wilson can't get above that?
Number 2. The important number is 2. They're 2-0. That's the important number.
No, that's the only reason he's still starting is because it's why Jimmy G started. It's not because he did anything special. It's because the team he was on was getting wins. Like, sometimes just because your winning percentage is good, it keeps you around, keeps you in the league, lets you continue to start. Soon as that starts to fade, I bet you see Wilson get a shot. I did think they were going to give him a shot at Denver, though, right? Because the NFL just likes that storyline of like a revenge game and all of that. So I was a little surprised that they, didn't give him that shot. I did laugh in the press conference. The field said he got a petty ball, which that's pretty great. But
so let this be proof that there are no scripted games in the NFL. I think if there were, then Bo's scenario might have come to fruition. So.
Yeah, and then when they start the game and Wilson gets under center, there goes. Oh,
crazy people think these games are scripted. Just go away. Go back to Bob's basement with his mom will make you lunch and enjoy yourselves. Jeez.
What are you talking about, Keith? It is scripted. It's like wrestling, man.
Sorry, James. I hate I didn't know James was a scripter.
It'd be so hard to get that many people in on it.
Yeah.
I don't know. You would have to. First of all, you'd have to get to the referee. That's who you would have to pay because you couldn't pay the quarter. I mean, the coach would be like to the quarterback, "What the hell are you doing?" The teammates would know. You'd have to do it with a referee. That's the only way you could do it. In fact, that's the only way I think it's ever really been done and succeeded was with a referee or an umpire or whatever. So anyway, let's talk a little college. We'll jump back into the NFL a minute. With all the great quarterback play, there's been a lot of great quarterback play in college, Keith. Is Tyler Hunter now the favorite to win the Heisman Trophy?
Travis Hunter. Yes. He's in the top 5 in my mind. He's probably going to he should be a finalist at least at the ceremony. And to me, I think I've said this every week since before the season started. He's the best player in the country, and I think right now he should get the Heisman. I mean, quarterback numbers in college get so blown out of proportion because of the way games are played today. All the spread offenses, it's not that hard to put up big numbers if you play on a really good team. And we've seen it with a lot of guys. You mentioned one that's struggling in Carolina right now. And guys like Travis Hunter get lost. I mean, you got to remember this guy's playing like nearly every down of every game besides being the best player in the country. Something nobody else is doing. Nobody else ever does these days. Travis Hunter is the best player, and to me, he should be the Heisman favorite. But it's going to be an uphill battle for him, I think, to win it.
Yeah. Listen, I think Woodson was the last one that wasn't he the one that was?
He was the only one.
But he also didn't play every down on offense like Hunter basically does. So again, it was a little bit different. He was the last guy to play both ways for sure. Years ago, there was one in football, but
he was only the player to ever win the Heisman, though.
Modern times,
Right.
Well, because they were playing both ways 100 years ago, But
right.
So Tyler, does Tyler? Do you draft him, James, for both, or you draft him as a wide receiver? Do you draft him as a defensive back? It's a little different going both ways in the pros than it is in college.
I think he's primarily better as a DB, and you allow him. It's like looking at Deion's situation. Every now and then you throw him a bone, allow him to run a route, maybe a go route or something like that, and go and play. But he wouldn't be. No, there's no way. And then you have to look at his size. You can do that in college, but those boys are a lot bigger and faster in the pros. He's not going to be able to sustain that level of play. Draft him as both two-way. I mean, you look at the players that actually did it; they were special. Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders. These guys. When I say Bo Jackson, I mean played 2 sports.
Right.
So, but as far as joining both sides, it's rare. That's extremely rare.
So they'll find spots for him, but you can't play him every But
Not like he's going now. No.
You get hurt straight up.
Yeah.
Like there's no way you survive the season.
Yeah.
But he'll have to pick a side. I would imagine he'll be a DB. But yeah, like everybody said, they'll give him opportunities on the offensive side. They'll draw up little gadget plays to get him involved, but he'll probably be a DB when he comes in.
All right, yeah, that's what I was just going to ask you. Why do you think they were going to use him? And I think you all are right. I mean, even Dion was in there for, and I think he'll be a special teams player too. I think he'll be in the special teams, maybe returning kicks or punts too. So I think.
I mean, if we can dial stuff up for J.J. Watt to be on offense, I'm pretty sure they'll find a way to get him in there.
Yes, yeah, yes. I remember when T.J. Watt returned that punt for 3 yards. I remember it was a great moment.
But it's funny you say that though. J.J. Watt started as a tight end.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Mike Bright got 2 Super Bowl touchdown catches. I just want to point out that's all.
And Refrigerator ran for 1 too. So anyway,
Both great 2-way.
So Keith, let's stay in college for a minute. He brought up Deion Sanders, the player. The coach is now saying to the media that they're slandering his players and they're all over his players and he's there to protect his players. And this isn't professional. They're kids. Why are you? And of course, it's really about his son. That's who the media is kind of going after, is his son, the way he's carrying on and his new cars and all that stuff. What do you think about Deion ready to sue people for slander?
I don't think he's going to be any lawsuits for slander. I mean, again, I don't think he's been hurt by these comments. The kid's flashing. He makes himself the center of attention. And again, listen, I'll stick up for the kid. They made a big deal about him. He wouldn't shake the hand of the Colorado State quarterback after the game. He told him to get out of his face. And I said before the game, Colorado State's the one doing all the talking before this game.
Exactly.
Shut up.
Before the game.
And they showed him. They should have shut up. So I'll give him. Look at he's well within his rights to blow that kid off because that kid did a lot of talking and didn't back up. So this is just more Deion being Deion, and he's been battling with the local press now for the better part of 6 months to a year. I don't think it'll stop because I think it's just part of the sideshow that is, Deion Sanders. So,
it's funny though, because at the same time, it's not like you can seek out the camera, stare at it, be doing this stuff, and then be like, why are you picking on me? It's like, you can't have it both ways. You either want the camera attention or you don't. You can't seek it out and then be mad when the storyline doesn't fall where you want it to be.
I agree. And James, we even saw him when they're trying to interview Deion and his son comes in and takes over the interview. So, I mean, come on. As Bo says, you can't have it both ways. So,
no, I agree with that. Totally. Absolutely.
Very interesting. Let's talk a little bit about Arch Manning. He comes in, he does his thing. He, as I said, he kind of runs like his grandfather. He's got great wheels. Better athlete than Ewers. Ewers is a great quarterback too. Ewers should be drafted. He probably should have won last year, but that's what he decided to do. And he's got that oblique strain. Keith, do they play him if he's still hurt, or they let Manning keep playing? And if Manning keeps playing, do they get back to Ewers?
Yeah, I don't think Ewers will play this week. I think he'll sit and Arch will play, but there's no reason to rush him back until he is 100%. Because I think they're going to be just as good with Manning back there. At the same time, when Ewers is ready to play, I think he'll play. He should play, unless Arch just keeps going crazy. Let's remember, and again, UTSA is not a horrible school. They play in the AAC, and it's not, little sisters of the poor A&M, but
right.
It still was a blowout, and he played great football. You see that there was a stat today that he ran faster than Tyreek Hill was running on that 80-yard touchdown he had in week 1.
Yes.
He was running like 20 miles an hour. He was faster than Archie, but
is he really a Manning at that point, or is it like UPS guy?
Yeah, well, remember his dad was a wide receiver, not one of these stumbling around quarterbacks like his uncles. So.
But maybe he got it from his dad, not his grandfather.
No, his grandfather.
That was embarrassing.
No, he got it from his grandfather. What are you talking about? His grandfather, Archie Manning, was one of the best running quarterbacks in college.
He was in the pros. He ran for his life, but in
Oh
college,
yeah, trust me, I saw a lot of those highlights. There was the brown bag era. Thank you.
he went through about 70
Yeah.
jerseys a game. They just because they were tearaway jerseys at the time. So
Yes.
great. I always said if Archie played with a real team. Sorry, James. At the time, they were horrible. I think
Of course, I know. Thank you for reminding me of that.
I was trying to be kind, and it turned into an insult. See, I can't help myself. If he played with a real team, he would have been better than Eli and Peyton in my mind, but he never got that chance, unfortunately. But
Yeah, I would agree. And listen,
Archie's going to get it. Probably just won't be this year, unless Ewers gets hurt more. Right? So,
Bo, if you're a GM or an NFL team and Ewers doesn't get back in, does his draft stock fall?
Yes. And the reason for that is because he's found a way to get injured every year. Now, it hasn't always been anything major, but it raises concern, right? And the last one we saw do that, get injured every year, just hit IR for the Dolphins. So it's not like the track record prior to him coming out is great. So if he can't get back in, it absolutely would make him slide down the board. I do think that because they know Manning isn't going anywhere, if Ewers is ready to go, I think he does get to play again unless, Manning is absolutely just lighting it up. But Ewers is good, right? He's incredibly accurate. This team, it's coming back from – it basically brought back their whole team from last year. So this is going to be a phenomenal team all season. So there's no reason for them not to do it, and they know they have Manning moving forward. So now, if for whatever reason it's a lingering injury or Manning is just all of a sudden putting up Heisman-type numbers, then, yeah, he struggles to come back.
All right. Okay. Listen, I mean, let's put it this way. Hey, Ewers goes in and they play well, and maybe they lose one game, maybe they go undefeated. It's the playoffs, and you need a spark in the playoffs or the championship, James, like they did kind of with Tua and Hurts. Do you pull Ewers out and put Manning in?
No, because I just don't think. I don't think both. It's a different situation. I think. I think Hurts was they were different style quarterbacks. I mean I guess he was. I just don't see it happen. I almost see Texas. This is their year, and I just don't see anybody challenging them like that. Even Georgia, especially.
I got Georgia in 4 weeks, so that'll be the test right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think Ohio State's pretty good and Alabama's pretty good too. So, I don't know.
They wouldn't play either one of them to the playoffs. So I'm only talking about the regular season.
That's what I'm talking about. If it is the playoffs and say they're losing, I mean, do you pull Ewers, Keith? That's what I'm asking. Do you put Manning in?
It's hard to say until I see what happens up until that point, right? Because that was a ballsy move. By the way, when not everybody's got the cachet that Nick Saban has, and as good a job as Sark has done, he still hasn't won anything. And Saban can pull his starting quarterback back and put a freshman in there and get away with it. Not a lot of coaches are going to have the chutzpah to do that, I don't think.
It also depends on how he's struggling.
True.
Right? Like if he can't hit a target, absolutely you do that.
Yeah.
If it's just, things aren't quite going right, no, you're probably hoping things can turn. But yeah, if he's just missing targets and throwing picks, sure. Yeah, you're like, hey, whatever we can do. So,
but if he comes back in a couple of weeks, he leads them to an undefeated season, and he's a Heisman contender. He's not getting pulled no matter what happens to him. He's going down. He's going down with that guy.
All right, so you're going down with the ship if that happens. Okay, all right. Let's do a little. We might come back to one more thing in the NFL. We got time. Let's talk a little bit about the Major League Baseball playoff race. I wanted to bring up that Seattle really has a good base runner over there. The Mariners, I don't know if I was the manager what I would have done then. 3-0 bases loaded, and he tries to steal home. I would have just went totally berserk, I think, on that guy. But anyway, it did happen.
You're getting crushed. Like
I
they lost the game 11-2. Like you're just trying
I
anything.
think at that time it was 7-2, Bo, and they had the
That's
base.
what I'm saying, though.
They
Like
had
at
the
some point, you
bases
gotta try
loaded.
things.
The bases loaded 3-0, Bo.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not trying to steal home, but
Right.
all I'm saying is when you're getting absolutely blasted, you pull some stuff out of your playbook that doesn't really exist in the playbook. Like you're reaching way down in the bag and be like, hey, I mean, this could be fun. Like
That's like Glaber Torrey's playbook right there. Just run until you
Right.
can. That's what he does.
all of a sudden you're just thumbing through the like baseball for dummies handbook. Like, but yeah, no, I mean, at the end of the day, they were 2 games out of the playoff, out of the wild card spot. They're still 4.5, I believe, down from the division. So, I mean, they're really playing for that wild card opportunity. And you go straight into the Yankees that has been blasting bombs all season against a Mariners team that, let's be honest, this panel could probably generate more runs then. So,
I'm going to be that runner, just FYI.
I mean, we could just lean into the ball and just take the walk and have better luck than what our bats have had here in Seattle. So, I mean, it's a little bit unfortunate, but
Yes.
I'm realistic about my team in case you didn't notice.
I see. And I just want to do that just one time to see Keith try to steal home. It would be great to see it.
No, I'll get a designated runner. I'll play in this game. I'll swing the bat, but I need somebody to run for me. That's all.
All right.
14 years old, man. I can't be running the bases.
Okay. All right. Cleveland could
Be
put
a
them away.
loss.
Hey, listen, Cleveland could put away the Twins, but the Twins won last night. The Royals are hanging in there, Keith. They're close still within striking distance. Cleveland hasn't the Royals haven't won since 2015. Cleveland lost last night.
5 games back with 10 to go is pretty tough.
I've seen it.
I'm not saying it hasn't happened. I've seen it.
You need a lot of help at that
You
point.
do well, yeah, because Cleveland's got to lose 8 out of 10, and you got to
Win out.
weight it up. So chances are good. I mean, this team has played well above expectations this year. The team formerly known as the Indians have come back to earth a little bit this second half.
Yes, they have.
The team that you watch out for the Tigers too. But the Tigers are only a game and a half out of the wild card right now, so they could have 4. They could have 4 teams in the playoffs. Possible.
And Minnesota is sliding. Minnesota's just sliding and sliding. I don't know if Minnesota's going to make it, Keith. They don't look good right now.
Actually, I take it back. They couldn't because actually they're chasing Minnesota, so they couldn't have 4 teams. They could only have 2. So
In Minnesota, they're only a game and a half up. So,
right.
But who would have thought this division would have had 3 teams in the playoffs? I would not have thought that before the season for sure.
no.
I would agree with that too. I definitely would. In the National League, the Dodgers, it's their division to lose. San Diego's kind of keeping things close. Look out, the Mets are like what? They're 2.5, 3 games up now in the wild card over Arizona right now. Is that right?
2 games over the Braves.
Yeah,
over the Braves. Okay, so they're even with Arizona, I think, for the wild card. If I'm not
they're a
mistaken.
game behind, half a game back.
Half a game back. Okay. Philly's pretty much got it wrapped up over there in the East. Milwaukee pretty much has it wrapped up in their division too. So I don't see any one of those in danger, at least of losing the division. That's not going to happen. There are too many games up.
In fact, Milwaukee has clinched.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a wrap.
So there you go. So I know.
And the White Sox are 5 games away from making history.
Well,
I think they can do it too.
They're going to try.
We're a team that can absolutely make that happen with some games to spare.
Yeah. I think they're losing 124, 125 maybe.
Yes. And what's the matter, James? You okay?
No, I'm looking at the White Sox. That's pretty bad.
Man, it's bad. It is.
Yes.
It is amazingly terrible.
How you doing today, David? Glad to have you with us. Yes, Bo. But listen, Bo is very nonchalant. Maybe off camera, he's probably maybe throwing things and stuff. I don't know.
No. So, I've been been a Mariners fan my whole life, right? So this is not a story I'm unfamiliar with. I mean, I created a hashtag almost 10 years ago from Hope to Nope. Like that is the Mariners theme.
Hope to Nope. All right,
like I can, in fact,
yes.
Just for the fun of it, let me give you this guy right here. This is life as a Mariner fan right there. You should have the slide.
Let's see if I can bring that up here. Let me do this. Let's see. Huh? Wait a minute. Let me get. Do I got it? Can I cut it? Can I put it? I don't know. All right, there you go.
So excited to watch some baseball. Still early, lots of season left because we're sucking. And then we go on a winning streak to give you some hope. And then ultimately you miss the playoffs. And that is life as a Mariner fan.
This is awesome.
That's perfect. And James, I'm sorry I covered you up there, James. It's just we had this. That's okay. All right, I'm good. So anyway, that's awesome, bro. That's really good. Jamar Chase doesn't get his contract. He's kind of ticked off at the team. He, listen. I know Joe Burrow's fumbled the ball and they picked it up and ran for a touchdown, but the Bengals still had a shot here. Jamar Chase not only wants to fight with the guy, he wants to fight with the ref. He's yelling at he continues to follow the ref and yell at him, and he gets the big penalty that kind of kills that drive. We blame Saquon Barkley for that loss over there. Can we blame Jamar Chase for that loss, guys?
Yeah, I mean it's I'm not going to negotiate anymore during the season. How about you go out there and play receiver like you're supposed to and help your team win games?
Keith, you blame the boss. You blame the owner because you didn't pay him that money.
I'd give him his money. I'm
not gonna lie. If he's not getting the same money as some of those other receivers, man.
And he shouldn't. But you know what? You got a contract. Go out and honor it and play.
I agree with that. You're
not helping your team right now. This team is 0-2, and it's early. I get it, but there's a lot of good teams in the AFC, and you don't want to go 0-3. I can tell you right now. So this team better get it together pretty quick.
I think the Bengals always start off slow. They always start off like 2-9 or 2-6, and then I'm coming back and playing good ball anyway. Burrows looked good throwing the ball. It didn't look like his wrist was bothering him anyway. Tough loss to the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes looks a little iffy right now. I think that will get worked out as he keeps playing with the younger receivers here. Kelsey, for some reason, looks like I don't know what he looks like now. I mean, he's got the Gilligan hat on. He's got the mustache. I have no idea what happened to Kelsey. He doesn't look like he really. I expect Kelsey to come out yelling and screaming at people, like and with the haircut and the beard, he looks like a biker. Now he looks like, I don't know, like Where's Waldo kind of guy there. I mean, where is
winning games, and they just keep winning.
Where is Kelsey? That's the question. What happened to him? What happened to him, James? Can a woman do that to a man, James? Is that what happened?
Man, we're live. I'm not answering that question.
I've seen it.
I'm not answering that question either.
He is trying to survive for the next show.
What I will say about Kelsey, I think he's a little long in the tooth, and he's got his rings too. Maybe he's bored. He just want to do other things.
Might be.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
And the reason why I say that, I personally have seen when couples get together and, especially as they get older. Now, Kelsey and Swift haven't been together that long. But if you look at old married men and women, eventually the man, if you met him a long time ago, he's got the T-shirt, he's a big, strong kind of guy. And, he does what he wants. He goes out drinking with his friends. And by the time he hits about 60, he's wearing checkered pants and the pants are pulled up and the shirt's there and he's got a golf cap on.
How do you see what's underneath my shirt here? I don't understand.
Something else. Anyway, folks, thanks for joining us again. We always have a fun show and we have a little bit of insight in for you too, whether you need it or not. But that's what we're all about, right? That's what we're all about here. I want to thank you all for coming in. Keith Engel's up right after us on College Huddle. So stay tuned here on Roku. And guys, have a great day. Keith, Bo, James, great job. Thanks for everybody watching, making comments, and have a great Wednesday, folks.
Have a great night, guys.